Too black, too strong. Too black, too strong.
I won't deny it. I'm a straight rider. You don't wanna fuck with me.
Any character approach me, I let the streets get the best of me. Infamy, my destiny. Getting paid for my vocal. Here is something you can't understand.
I can just kill a man.
Hear it.
So now I'm setting up the ultimate drive-by. And when you hear this shit, it make the world say, damn, I wanna kill Slam. Give me that bass and don't try to run up. I hope he wears vest too, and his best blue. Going up against the Zulu.
I got 99 problems, but a bitch ain't one. Hit me.
Bitch, don't kill my vibe. Bitch, don't kill my vibe.
Casino on the ass, spotted her more than once. Ass so fat that you can see it from the front. You fuck off my money, don't cop no sleep.
Cause I'm the wrong nigga to fuck with.
I'm the boss of all boss. 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 I'm the boss of all boss.
What's good, everybody? It's your boy Daniel Tye, D-Tye90, also known as the student of hip hop, here today with the Falsetto Hip Hop Show. And today, thank you for tuning in to Ratchet Wednesdays. For Ratchet Wednesdays, I have here my beautiful, my lovely, my amazing girlfriend Amanda. Amanda, introduce yourself.
I really like that intro. I think I need not say no more, except my name is Amanda. You can find me on Instagram at strawberries are good, or find me on Twitter, sberries are good.
That's what's up. Okay, so before we get into the ratchetness, I always want to start off with a little bit of positivity. And a little bit of positivity today is our man, Mr. Tip Harris, also known as T.I. And T.I., it looks like he recently inked a deal with BET. Also, I want to know why we use the term inked a deal. I think that it's kind of overdone, but it works for the scenario. It's a reality show coming to BET called The Grand Hustle, where it's going to be sort of like The Apprentice, or sort of like the show Diddy had to, where he was looking for an intern, except you won't be an intern. It's like 16 people, and if you get hired, you get like $100,000 salary, and you get hookups and shit. So, you get that connection. You get the plug, so to speak. And if you don't know, the T.I.'s got the plug. One, he is the inventor of trap music, so the plug is definitely in his previous career. Also, the plug, he is, what's the best way to put it? Responsible for the gross Iggy Azalea. And also partially responsible for one of Young Thug's first biggest hits. They did a song together, All About the Money. That shit was a banger. Probably my favorite Young Thug song of all time. So don't sleep on T.I. Don't sleep on T.I. He's about to have some shit popping. Really happy to see this reality show. Everybody's trying to have the next Shark Tank. Trump had The Apprentice before. Now it's Shark Tank. And I feel like all these kind of business shows in between, they haven't really had the same cachet, the same panache as those original shows did. I think maybe the closest is probably Diddy's Making a Band, which really isn't even, it's a business itself, but it wasn't business acumen people. It was just singers, which is cool too. Pro. All right, so enough of T.I. Now is a man that I've got much respect for, and I even I had a little more respect for him for his move. Killer Mike was given Donkey of the Day, but went on the Breakfast Club to accept his Donkey of the Day. It admitted that he fucked up. So what he did was he already got caught, and the nigga was slipping when he went on NRA TV and tried to do a positive thing. And I haven't listened to the interview, but I've heard snippets, and it is positive, his message. But his words got cut up and twisted and turned so that he could seem anti the March for Our Lives thing, the March for Our Lives rally. And no, it's not right that that happened, but we all kind of sat back like, motherfucker, you know better. You know what the fuck's gonna happen when you go up there on NRA, anything, any association with that. You, as a black man, that shit ain't gonna work out, player. It ain't gonna work. But he looked to redeem himself. And he looked to redeem himself by commenting on Joy Reid's Instagram photo. If you don't know who Joy Reid is, she's a, I'm probably going to say her title incorrectly, but she's a news commentator on MSNBC. And is one of the main motherfuckers holding it down at MSNBC, especially as a black woman. But she posted Instagram photo. I forget exactly what the fucking caption said, but she said, "Here with H&M." Okay, so it's a bit peculiar that she would be posting on Instagram about being with H&M right after her own. And she seemed happy, and she had 2 black women behind her, I believe, in the photo. And, you know, she had her hair and makeup done and everything. And then Killer Mike slid. Normally we like to slide in the DMs, and normally that comes out pretty well. You slide in the DMs, you know, you might end up with a little bit of coochie or something like that. But he did not come out with coochie. He came out with a donkey of the day. Because he commented on it and said, I don't know what the fuck he said exactly, but he was talking shit about why she's supporting H&M and Joy Reid, you're a piece of shit. Why the fuck you doing this? And just trying to go in on her. And then Joy Reid had to explain H&M, motherfucker, is hair and makeup, not H&M, the clothing store.
It's an honest mistake.
It was an honest mistake, which is why I have much respect for him for going on and saying, hey, I fucked up. And I'm going to stay the fuck off of Instagram for a minute.
Poor guy.
But that's all for Killer Mike. Killer Mike, although he played himself multiple times in 1 week, I do want to make sure, give him his props, because he's done a lot of work in the community, getting the first black mayor, first female black mayor elected in the city of Atlanta. He also did much work for the Bernie Sanders campaign, as a lot of us know. He was very instrumental in getting a lot of people to sign up for black banks, including myself, which I'm gonna give my own little rant about this. I was very excited. I opened an account at Citizens Trust Bank, I believe it was called, and I believe that one is Atlanta. And I know it was one of the ones he partnered with, because when I went to sign up for the account, it said, where did you come from? It said, how did you find us? And one of the options was Killer Mike, which is a very odd option to see when you're signing up for a bank account. But nonetheless, I clicked Killer Mike. And I was fine with the bank account. I had no problems for about 2 to 3 months. Then after 2 to 3 months, shit went AWOL. I started getting these weird fees. And then when I would call to ask for help, they would laugh at me. I legitimately had an employee laugh at me over the phone when I said this fee is incorrect, because they had a delay in their accounting and their online banking. So their online banking wasn't like up to date. It wasn't like to the day. It had like a day lag on the online banking. So I misread my account balance and shit, and motherfuckers laughed at me. So I closed that shit. I hated to do it. Amanda, she could vouch for me later, but I always try to support black-owned businesses. You know, if I see you and you offer me a purchase, I may buy your $5 handmade soap. Don't rule that shit out.
I've reaped from these, actually. That soap is really fire. It smells real good. He definitely supports black businesses.
I will say, though, one, I don't know where to buy that soap again, because I was just in the barber shop and the lady came up and asked me if I wanted the soap. so I bought the soap. But now I can't get more soap.
I follow Instagram.
You following him on the IG?
Yeah, they said it on the little card where the soap came with, and so I follow them on Instagram now.
That's funny.
But what sucks is they don't have the same soap all the time since it's all handmade. So I don't even know if they have the soap that I like, but I got that IG.
That's what's up. Okay, so now we're going to get into the little bit of ratchetness. And we're not going to start off super ratchet. We're going to ease into it. Starting off with my man. Actually, you know where? Hold on, everybody. Little round of applause.
Golf clap.
Little round of applause for Tristan Thompson. For knocking boots.
Oh my god.
He had a little side dish for his entree. In the words of Fabulous, the entree ain't as good without something on it. And Tristan Thompson, if you did not see on Instagram, TMZ, everywhere, literally everywhere, him hugged up with two females at a hookah bar, and then him walking out into a hotel with one of the females. I'm not saying the nigga's guilty, but what I'm saying is he's about to play amazing in the playoffs this year. That's what I'm saying.
Why is it still alleged? Like, there is a video of him kissing one of the girls. If anything, he still kissed somebody else.
There's a lot of 6'10" black men in Cleveland.
You can see his face. You can see his face.
Okay.
Anyway, though.
Just for the record, it's like a security camera, so it's still inconclusive.
I guess, but you can see his face.
Actually, either way. It's allegedly because it's not proven yet. It's not in court of law. But nonetheless, I'm glad it happened because the Kardashian curse is real. And if it didn't happen, he's going to play terrible in the playoffs if it didn't. But it's almost like a refresher. It's like if you stick your dick in Kardashian pussy, you got to get it in some new pussy for you to like rejuvenate and get your powers back. If you don't, you'll end up like Lamar Odom at a crack house. If you do, you end up like Reggie Bush without a career. If you do, you end up like Kanye with blonde hair. In somewhere in the mountains of Colorado or Utah. I think it's Utah.
Oh gosh. That's so horrible.
Is it accurate?
Well, I mean, first of all, didn't he cheat on his last one with Khloe? So does it even make
So
any
she knew
sense?
what she was getting into.
I guess, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, she knew what she was getting into, but still, it's like, it's not that, oh, the Kardashian would make them crazy, so they just go cheat on somebody. He had already cheated on someone. She knew what she was getting into.
So it sounds kind of like a fair swap, actually, because, well, actually, I don't know if it's a fair swap. She still kind of wins because she gets his baby. But nonetheless.
But it just kind of sucks that, like, she's literally about to pop, and that's when all of this comes out.
Yo, you knew the nigga you was dealing with. You know, when if you were the mistress, you could live to see other mistresses. And the thing is...
But so he's like, she knows he's not single.
The other thing is she's older than him.
Who?
Khloe. I think she's older than him. Isn't she in her 30s? I think he's in his late 20s.
Yeah, she's 33.
Yeah, so
but what does that matter?
I mean, look, there ain't nothing wrong with old pussy. It's fine. It's fine.
Oh my god.
I'm just saying.
Why are you so rude?
I'm just saying
She's not that old.
She's not that old. She's a young lady.
But you called her pussy old.
It's older than the pussy he was in.
Oh my god.
Allegedly.
You just...
Anyways.
But the other thing is, I hate that she knew he wasn't single. So that just shows you, like, what kind of person she is, too. Like, who he's with is legitimately pregnant. She's pregnant with with his baby, and she decides, oh, I'll just get up all on him at a bar. Like, that's kind of fucked up.
Because she wanted the baby. This was fair. This is fair all around. The baby was fair game. He knew what he was getting into. He couldn't help but stick the dick in the Kardashians. He wanted to taste it's the forbidden fruit.
It's really a fucked up situation. Like, she had to have known what she was getting into, and then everything was going smooth sailing, though, all the way up until she's about to pop. That's what's gotta suck. Is she's just about to have the baby, and then it just comes full circle. Because when they started dating, wasn't the other girl that he was with supposed to start having the baby or something?
Something like that.
So, I don't know. I guess it's like karma is definitely a bitch, but it still kind of sucks that she's about to pop, and this is when all of this comes out. Because the other thing is that surveillance recent?
I believe it was within the last couple weeks.
I think it said the weekend or something.
It was over the last week.
The other thing is, like, is it just like a publicity thing? They just want to make sure everyone's still paying attention to them?
Let's put it this way. Everything with a Kardashian, every article with a Kardashian name on it is publicity. But again, I think this is the same way what he does is when he gets this time, because he's going to the playoffs, if you guys don't know, he gets off social media, doesn't touch it no more. So I think the same way he's purging social media, he wants Tristan Thompson to purge of that Kardashian.
Apparently he got booed at the game. I just read that he was booed at the game after the cheating allegations.
That's fine. Did they win? That's all that matters.
Oh, I don't know. I think it's like literally the game today.
Yeah. That's all that matters, as long as they win.
As long as they win, it don't matter if he's.
Because that was the whole issue. Everybody told Tristan, "Hey, you don't. Why are you with this? Why are you with this woman? Nothing good comes of it." But you know what? We'll address that another day. We'll have a whole conversation about the Kardashian curse, and I'm gonna make a list of all the niggas' lives that have been ruined.
Oh my god!
But speaking of lives being ruined, we have a one Blac Chyna. Blac Chyna is a fascinating woman. From stripper to Tyga to a baby by Tyga to Rob Kardashian to a baby by Rob Kardashian to cheating on Rob Kardashian in Rob Kardashian's house, and now getting in a fight. Okay, well, let me put a little more context to it. I don't know who the fuck she's dating, but I've heard about 3 other random niggas, but they're all rappers. So there's obviously a common theme of rappers and money.
It's the ass.
Okay, side note. I'm not that impressed with Blac Chyna. The eyebrows kind of weird. The ass is big, but it like looks fake big. I don't know if it's...
That's what they're into. Everybody's into that. Looks fake big.
I don't like it on her though. Like Kim Kardashian's is fake, but I'm okay with... I like Kim Kardashian's.
Well, allegedly fake.
That shit is faker than the meat at McDonald's.
McDonald's is good.
That shit is faker than the ground beef in a Whopper. But either way. So this is the story. Her boyfriend is a rapper named YBN Almighty, and he's not like a super mainstream rapper. He's soon to be a super mainstream rapper with all this publicity for Blac Chyna, which is also why I think we kind of end up having to loop in these strippers into hip hop. So your Blac Chynas and your Amber Roses and your Kim K's, once they get associated with a rapper or producer, they end up being able to have enough status where they can lift other people up. So like I've talked before about Amber Rose lifting up the profile of 21 Savage. Blac Chyna is probably going to end up lifting up the profile of this guy named YBN Almighty. But aside from that, so he said he wants to marry her on Instagram. I don't know if that counts as a proposal. They're calling it a proposal. But basically what he says is, will you marry me on Instagram? I posted a picture of Blac Chyna.
So is that what he said? He said, will you marry me?
Yeah.
With the picture?
With the picture of her and then a ring emoji.
Oh.
Does that count as a proposal?
I wouldn't accept it. I wouldn't accept that. I think it's tacky. I would get it if, like, it's a picture of him proposing to her, and it says, will you marry me? Like, that's kind of cute. The other thing, it's definitely just a call for attention.
Promo?
Yeah, he just wants to make sure people know that's who he's dating.
I'm wondering if this was the same guy in the sex tape.
Oh, I don't even know.
I didn't see the sex tape because I just kept hearing that it was horrible in the sense that she was not doing a good job of sucking dick.
Oh my gosh.
Which is kind of upsetting because as a man who has never fucked a stripper, you always envision like strippers and porn stars being really good at it. Just because that's what they're selling to you is the sex.
Okay, but a stripper doesn't have to have sex with you. She's a stripper. She's there for the illusion. You think that you have a chance of having sex with her, but you don't actually have sex with her. She's just a stripper. She's there for the illusion of something you could have. Or you think you could, but you probably could not.
Nonetheless, what's being sold to me as a customer,
okay,
as a client of, say, Jaguars strip club here in Phoenix, if I were to go in there and be a paying customer, a client of some lovely female,
okay,
if she's selling me sex, I would expect it to be sex that I think is good. I would. How are you?
It's an illusion of sex. She's not selling you sex.
But you're not selling an illusion of bad sex.
No, but you don't have to be good
because
at
nobody
sex.
wants that.
Yeah, but a stripper isn't necessarily good at sex. She's just good at tricking you into thinking she'll have sex with you.
I know she's not good at sex. But if that's the point, if you're supposed to be tricking me into thinking I have sex with you, when I'm thinking it's going to be good. Because you're a stripper and you do this for a living.
You don't have sex with you for a living. That's the thing you're misconstrued. She's not having sex with you for a living, so it's not that she's going to be good at sex. She's just good at selling sex.
This is assuming that strippers don't have sex with people.
Well, most of them don't.
Ever?
No, you don't have to, especially if you're at like a nice bougie place. Like you have higher clientele, so you get that money.
Agreed. Not agreed.
Okay, it's just definitely like I know strippers and I've talked to strippers and it's not like they're fucking everybody that's giving them money. They're there to get their money. Like that's why they're there. They're not there to have sex with some grimy dude who came into their strip club.
All I'm saying is there's a lot of women out there that'll do something strange for a little piece of change. Sometimes you need your phone bill paid. Sometimes $80 can really help out.
God.
That's all I'm going to say.
Well,
But
okay.
speaking of that, speaking of sex tapes, it's fascinating that I didn't see the video until today where she got into a fight at Six Flags, where I believe she was with her kid, one of her kids or two of her kids.
Her kids aren't in the video, though, to clarify. They're not in the video of her throwing her stroller.
So she throws her stroller, but to be clear, the kids are not in the stroller.
No kids in the stroller. You can't even see a kid. My thing is maybe the kids are at the bathroom, or someone else who was there helping her with the park has them on a ride.
Well, which I don't...
That's what I would hope. But the kids aren't in the video.
They said someone tried to touch one of her kids.
That's what she said. She said, like, that if
Blac Chyna,
someone's trying
Blac
to touch
Chyna's
one of
not
her
a liar.
kids. But in the video, though, you don't see a kid. There's no kid in sight. You just see her team trying to stop her from actually throwing the stroller at this person.
Which may be valid because it was obviously recorded by somebody. So if it just happened, like if I touch your kid and then we start scrapping, like they're not going to have the phone out instantly for that whole time. They weren't recording before that. They would just be recording after that. And they just recorded her swinging her stroller in a fight, which I'm not bad at. When you're in a fight, all bets are off. I'm not against biting, clawing, such, scratching, slapping. All's fair game in a fight. But she tried to hit him with a stroller, so she ultimately lost her stroller deal. Her endorsement deal with a stroller company for Stroller Co. The fascinating thing is she lost her endorsement deal for throwing a stroller, but not for having a sex tape out where she sucks dick on camera.
Okay, but if most people buying a stroller aren't looking up sex tapes or trying to find them, because your sex tapes don't pop up on your laptop or something when you're looking for strollers.
It's almost as if people expect sex and a sex tape from a stripper.
I guess so, since they didn't take her deal away.
Weird.
But when they're actually throwing your product, obviously you're going to be like, you know what? No. She's showing us that our product isn't good enough that she's just going to throw it.
She already came out and said that she was assaulted. If you touched her kid, that's an assault.
Yes. But still, they don't want that bad publicity of her actually throwing their stroller. But I guess they could also turn that around and be like, you can even use our stroller as a weapon or something clever like that.
So, I do want to ask the question before. So, in 2018, is it okay for people to propose on Instagram or Twitter or Facebook or something?
I wouldn't accept it. No, I don't think it's okay.
At what year do we need to get to for it to be acceptable?
I don't think it should be acceptable ever. I don't know. I guess I'm kind of more of a, I want you to ask me in person. I don't think the social media thing is good. Even you, I made you come ask me to be your girlfriend.
Oh, did you pick up your knitting set too? Did you set it down next to the shiffer robe?
Do you still want a girlfriend after this?
I'm just saying, y'all. I think at some point this should be acceptable for people to propose on Instagram.
No, it's
and if this happens to be the first one, I'm not shooting down the first one.
Ew.
If they get married and they're happy, and they can say they proposed on Instagram, that sounds like a motherfucking deal right there. That sounds like a page.
I'm not like that old.
Hold on. That sounds like the first Facebook wedding where it's broadcasted over Facebook Live and Instagram Live. Ooh, that should be winning.
Ew.
That shit would be winning.
That's annoying. I barely like going on Facebook. I think the reason I activated Facebook again was because I wanted to get a Tinder.
Either way, I'm just saying, fuck, it could be Instagram, it could be Twitter, it could be Snapchat, but I'm just saying, a social media wedding. I'm saying in the next 3 years, you'll see not 3 years, next 2 years. 2 years. By the end by 2020, you will see you'll see weddings on Facebook. Not pictures, not little clips, not little videos. You'll see live wedding. You probably already do because people.
I mean, I would get that if you're streaming your wedding for family
Hold on,
that can't
celebrity
make it.
celebrity wedding.
Well, celebrities, they sell their weddings. They sell access to their weddings.
Yeah, and it's gonna be. But who's ever done it on social media?
I don't even know. I don't even think people
Like Gucci
have
Man,
actually...
like Gucci Man did it, but he did it on TV.
Yeah, I don't think they've actually filmed the entire wedding though.
That's what I'm saying. I think they're gonna film the entire wedding, like how they do a celebrity on MTV. But so that's kind of the thing on Blac Chyna.
I would say no.
No, okay. So 1 vote for yes Instagram proposals, 1 vote for no Instagram proposals.
I think I'd break up with you if you tried to propose to me on Instagram.
I'm not saying I'm gonna do it or not gonna do it. I'm just saying I'm not against it.
Oh God.
Okay, next topic. Safaree. Safaree has been a walking promotional item the past year or so, I would say. He walks around with a fur coat, a diamond, a iced out watch, iced out bracelets, iced out chains, rings, constantly. Anytime you'd see him, he's got at least fur on.
His furs are nice, though.
His furs are nice. They're beautiful. I wish I had one. And also he is known as the man who had previously had Nicki Minaj. He's also known to be allegedly wrote for Nicki Minaj. He also happened to have a dick pic coincidentally leaked. Wink, wink. And most recently, he got robbed. And less than 4 to 5 hours later, went and did a interview. So this isn't back in the day when you did a radio interview and it was just in the city. No. You got robbed and 4 hours later, you put your face around the world crying and telling people you got robbed. They did this shit staged, right?
It just seems real fishy is what it seems. Especially like if you just went through a traumatic event, obviously you have people, you can definitely get them to cancel your appearance. You don't have to show up at this radio show. Especially for radio shows, you don't really get paid because they're for the promo. And so that's why you're there. It's not often that you get paid for a radio show.
Unless you're Cardi B. I think Cardi B probably got paid. But that's nothing.
But it's also, it's for promotional use. Like you're
100%.
there to promote whatever it is that you're promoting. So he definitely has people, he could have got it canceled. And it seems like it's just like a call for attention when he's crying on the radio saying, I just got robbed.
And I know it looks like we're bringing this up late, but we're not. Because the video just came out of him getting robbed. You saw the video, right?
I did. So I saw the video. He gets robbed at his car. He doesn't seem that all scared, though. But I guess you can't really tell since it's like a video in a garage. He kind of seems like he might know the people.
Huh. You wouldn't say.
Because then I also saw the video of people that allegedly stole his things. And they said that they stole them because he owed them money.
As a graduate of ASU WP Carey School of Business, one of the things I learned how to do is read body language. And his body language in that video was way too calm for it to get robbed at gunpoint. If you look at his body language in the video and you look at the body language he had in the interview, his body language in the interview was so much more sad than when he was getting robbed.
And then I think his friend kind of moves out of the way to let them get to him, which seems kind of not cool. I get it, like there's a gun involved. I don't know. It seems real.
Which, to be fair, I'll play devil's advocate and say he did say that when it first happened that a friend, someone he knew, set him up.
Oh, so maybe it's the friend that was with him?
And obviously would have gotten out the way.
That's true.
And would be how they knew where he was at. Because why would you be dressed around in a fur coat and diamonds in a place you know you might get robbed at?
This is true. The other thing is, like, why are these people that apparently are part of back production stealing his stuff? Like, isn't there some formalities involved in that kind of thing where he definitely would have to get paid and he wouldn't have to rob Safaree of his items? Like, it just doesn't add up.
Very true. The next Safaree promotional tool is I'll just read this little insert. Because Safaree came out and leaked his dick pic, there were a lot of women and homosexuals that were very impressed with it. So he's gotten offers to do porn, all offers going up to at least $50,000. And he said in his quote, he declined the $50,000 for the video, but he is considering a move into the adult toy landscape, disclosing that he had a meeting with the company that wants to make a mold of the rapper's dick. While he insists that he did not leak his own nudes, the prospect of a Safaree sex toy slightly intrigues him. He said, quote, "I don't know because I'm thinking of my future me and me actually having a wife one day and her being okay with it."
Well, then she can have one for herself.
She can. So
I have seen, like, this is a thing though for porn stars, or like I used to watch that show Gigolos, is that they have molds of certain like porn stars' dicks, and like the pussy thing that's actually the pocket pussy, it's actually mimicked after a porn star's pussy.
Yes, I've seen those.
So it's like very known.
They are very expensive. They're very expensive, and I want to know, how do you know you're getting a good one?
Who knows? I guess it's the name attached. You just assume it's good.
You're all buying it for the brand name. It's sort of like if you buy like LeBron James shoes or Chris Paul shoes, you just got a certain expectation of their shoes based on how they perform.
Yeah, you just assume it's gonna be good.
You just assume. That means there's got to be you got to pay attention. That's a lot of detail that goes in. You got to really pay attention to the porn to understand what type of pocket pussy you're actually going to get.
This is true.
You know, whether it's, narrow, shallow. Those are important questions. Okay. Important questions people got to ask. But this goes to something that I've said before, where I really think that hip hop should get more integrated into porn. I think it's a huge market and that's underserved, but it's underserved because it's taboo. So the irony here is because as an artist, you want to go mainstream. So when you go mainstream, you end up having to avoid taboo shit for people to hear you, because you end up having to avoid taboo stuff because you want to be a household name. You want to be like Snoop Dogg. You want to be like Gucci Mane and such, where people can regularly talk about you and not talk about the fact that you have porn videos.
Or that there's a mold of your dick that they use to make dildos.
So, does that have any effect on you? Does it matter to you if if a rapper or someone you listen to also does porn?
I mean, you got to get your money. I think for me, from a business standpoint, it's probably a really good thing to go into because there's a lot of money in the porn industry. But
Pornhub is the most visited site in the world.
Yeah, so that definitely shows there's money there. but it's also, like you said, definitely taboo. And
Like-
so, like you said, if you want to be a big name and like,
I guess my thing is it weird? Is it weird if you watch a video of Safaree fucking a chick and then listen to a song that same day?
I don't think so. Because it's not like he started porn and then he tried to be an artist.
You can't do that.
I feel like you won't be taken as seriously, which also kind of sucks. Because people are like, oh, they're just a porn star.
That was the same, and I agree, but that was the same case with strippers.
Yeah.
Now strippers are, honestly, I have seen there's always been strippers that have wanted to be rappers, but since Cardi B, there's been a large insurgence of strippers trying to be rappers. I
guess someone's got to do it first.
Someone's got to do it first. And then everyone feels like they can do it afterwards.
There you go.
But, don't lose sight of the hard work that goes into it. So I guess I would give Safaree the same advice. Don't lose sight of all the hard work that goes into porn.
That's a lot.
It is, because I watched the video of Young M.A. I didn't watch... Young M.A. was tapped by Pornhub to direct a porn video. A lesbian porn video, because she's lesbian and blah, 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 whatever. But I thought that was a great move for her. And they had clips of her on set, like trying to direct it. And even her in the interview trying to explain what she was doing while she was directing just didn't make sense. I don't know how the actress interpreted what she was saying, because the shit just really sounded hella half-baked. It sounded like a rapper directing porn, honestly, is what it sounded like, with no prior experience of film production. So I think it's safe to say, if you want good porn, pay for it.
Gotta pay for your porn.
Okay, so now we're going to get into the last topic. And the last topic today is a man, a boy, if you will, by the name of Tekashi 6ix9ine. And Tekashi 6ix9ine has played everybody. Has been playing motherfuckers like a motherfucking fiddle. He pretends. He's a pretender. Most recently, he pretended to quit rapping. He said, if you rob me, he said, I'm just going to quit rapping forever. The next day, he posted he's got a new music video coming out at the end of the week. In a video that came out later that same day, or let me phrase it, 2 days later, he posted a trailer of the music video that he said was going to come. And in the music video, he's pretending to be a woman. And not just like long hair, not like they put boobs on him and put him in a bikini. So pretending to be a woman. He also pretended to be in prison, or is pretending to be in prison. He said that, or let me rephrase, his attorney, if you will, DJ Academics, said that he did not attend his court date. I guess the story was that because he had a charge where he did a music video. In the music video, he was in bed with a chick, and it turns out that the chick was 15. So that was what his charge was for. And I guess the judge said they was going to give him 3 years, but didn't give him 3 years. He said if he passes his GED. So he came out and he said that he passed his GED, but then DJ Academic said he didn't go to court. So, and also that exact same day, all his posts from Instagram come down. So if you looked on his Instagram, he had 0 posts. And then it later comes out his court date was postponed. Also, he puts out a deluxe version of his album. And just his personality altogether, he's pretending to be a clown. That's why he has 6ix9ine tattooed on his face. That's why he's got multicolored hair. That's why he, walks around in a red jacket and gold teeth, and it's got a big, colorful, fake chain. Or I don't actually let me rephrase. I don't know if his chain is fake, but it's got all kinds of colors in his shit. It's probably fake. So he literally pretends to be a clown and admits to pretending to be a clown. But is pretending to be a clown bad when you're in the entertainment industry? At the end of the day, he's a rapper. And in hip hop, there's a code that we always try to follow where it's sort of like at home. Be nice, respect your elders. Don't chew with your mouth open. Don't put your elbows on the table. Just certain little manners, respects, and courtesies that we do, just to kind of keep the peace. Those are our values, and that's kind of how we operate. And hip hop's no different than any other culture. It just so happens to be the biggest and most influential culture. But with all that said, because he's pretending and because he's in the entertainment industry, he's also pretending to be untouchable. He goes to these different cities and says that I'm not checking in with nobody, blah, 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 blah. Y'all can't fuck with me. Fuck you. Suck my dick. All that bullshit. And then gets jumped at the airport. So untouchable he is not. But what he does have is fans. What he does have is people listening to music. What he does have is an independent album out that is selling 100,000 records. So if you know me, I've always preached being independent. We just talked about today Black-owned businesses being independent. So I will take my hat off to being able to do numbers like that as an independent artist. Extremely difficult. Extremely difficult. And so I would say probably at this point, his only crime is not following the manners or rules we have set place for hip hop. And the thing is I think to myself, so you can't do this. But the thing is, everything goes in cycles. So I thought, okay, who was the Tekashi 6ix9ine before Tekashi 6ix9ine? And there was a man by the name of 50 Cent. And 50 Cent, who did a song about robbing probably all the top artists in hip hop and music at the time. Diddy, Big Pun, you name it. In a song, he robbed all of them. He said, fuck you guys, you can't touch me. And has done that since then. Whether he picked on, if you think about it, the guys he's beef with, and I use beef as a very loose term, but the guys he's had tension with have all been very high selling artists. Ja Rule was selling no less than 1 to 2 million albums, every single one. And not over a year. So he was selling 1 to 2 within the first month. Rick Ross's first hit song still plays regularly today in different playlists. Every day I'm hustling. And it's been featured on a lot of big songs too. So wow. So I will say, no, they're not the same, but the actions that those two are exhibiting are pretty similar. And I think as long as Tekashi 6ix9ine is willing to follow this up with good music, he will continue to have a place. The same way we weren't sure how long 50 Cent was going to last, and he's still here, and he's still trolling people regularly every day. I won't even talk about the shit, he said about Rick Ross, but he's still here doing the exact same shit he was doing 20 years ago. You may call it childish. I would call it childish. But what I'd also call it is effective. So that's all for today. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode of the Falsetto Hip Hop Show.
This is Amanda. You can follow me at Strawberries Are Good on Instagram or hit up that Twitter and follow me at sberries are good.
And this is your boy Daniel Tye, D-Tye90, also known as the student of hip hop. Until next time, have a good night.